Most areas in the US in 2025 will still be leaning towards a seller's market. However, the areas in the US that have had a surge of inventory will become more of a buyer's market and will be subject to price declines due to supply demand imbalance. That quote was from Bankrate. Anyways, folks, welcome back to another month. Can you believe it? Yes, we are cruising along. 2025, we are here. Welcome back. Now let's start diving into what is going on in 2025. As I shoot this video, what do we know? Well, we have a new president-elect, Donald Trump, a whole new administration that is focused on cutting the red tape, cutting regulation. He demands lower rates, as he says, demands it. He demands lower oil prices. He demands things that come down. He wants to build, baby, build, drill, baby, drill. Obviously, as he comes into this new administration, he was hit right in the punch of the mouth with devastation, which we've had devastation last year with all the hurricanes throughout Florida and North Carolina. And now that devastation was out of control by a wildfire, which is in my state as I'm down here in San Diego. As I shoot this video today, it's actually, finally we're getting some rain, but it's been beautiful weather. But that beautiful weather has been followed by crazy hurricane kind of winds. And those hurricane winds, unfortunately, dried everything out. And we had one of the worst natural disasters in California. And you guys that are probably watching this video, you're well aware that we had LA fires, Pacific Palisades, and other areas around there. Basically, I think it's 16,000 structures or something burnt literally to the ground. Dunzo. And the people, I have not personally been there. The people that I know that have been there say, Kenny, you wouldn't, if you go there, it is unbelievable to see. It's crazy. It looks like a war zone. People are like, when am I going to wake up? This is a crazy reality. And the reason why I say that is because places like North Carolina or Florida are like this. This could affect the market. This could affect rental rates. This could affect housing prices, supply, demand. And so in a place like California, or as I sit here in San Diego, when you have very, very limited supply as we speak of, this only makes that situation worse. So I think at the end of the day, with this wildfire, Trump just came to California, meeting with Newsom and doing a press conference. And it's clear that he is like, let the people build. No, just let them go. Let's start right now. Enough is enough. And I hope this new, basically like California, is this, what we get out of this is this crazy devastation, lost lives, uplift families. I know people personally, families, friends, however you want to describe it, it's catastrophic for them. I can't even imagine. But let's hope what we take away from this is we know, how are we going to deal with insurance moving forward? Number two, how are we going to build these communities back? And you might forget about it, that the Olympics is coming to California, to Los Angeles in 2028. What are they going to be able to do to get things back and built up quickly? Everybody's watching. But the red tape here in California, I could tell you, whether you're trying to build anything, do anything, business, it is out of control. It's excessive. I don't even understand it. It's unbelievable. We need to clear the system, hit the reset button and start. And I'm hoping that that's what happens here in this state, is a really not just real estate, but business and everything, is why does everything have to have so much red tape? Why does it just take so long? Because it's killing, for example, real estate. We cannot build our way out of this here because we just cannot build in a state like California. And with interest rates being so high and affordability just terrible, and housing prices high, it's very, very tough to make sense whether you're buying a first-time home, buying an investment property, buying a commercial property. It's very tough right now. And obviously, I agree with Trump. We need to get those rates down, and that would really help us. But it's going to take time. And there's many ways to do that, as I've shared in other videos. Or you can watch this video that talks about how Donald Trump can lower rates. You should go there and check that video out and see. Also, too, why we're here, by the way, I wanted to introduce myself as we get into this video. My name is Kenny Simpson. This is my monthly webinar where we go over nationally what is going on with rates, inventory, what's trending. We're going to talk about what's going on in 2025, what we're seeing, and we watch the data here. So we really just look at the data month over month. If you follow me on a weekly basis or daily on Instagram, if not, you should follow me on Instagram at Kenny B. Simpson. You're missing out. You're also, if you just found me on YouTube watching this, you should definitely get on my email list, which you can contact me below in the description, and we'll get you on that email list and get you out of there on my newsletter, because it's a lot of great stuff. And if you're in the real estate business or you're interested and you want to know what's going on and how people break down all the stuff, I do that for you. But anyways, I focus on 184 unit financing. I've been doing this about 20 years, funded billions of dollars, helped over 5,000 customers. So I mean, I've done this over 5,000 times. I just probably lost track of how many times I've actually done this. And so we're really, really good at what we do. And I create content to help you break things down, talk about the process, to hopefully from my point of view, so you guys can get a little information on how to proceed, whether you're buying a home, refining, whatever you're doing. We just try to break it down into common sense stuff and answer questions. And if you want to chat or reach me, you can do that on the screen or in the description below. So this is January 2025. Remember, we're always looking backwards in the rearview mirror. We're looking at data prior, but we are going to talk about some predictions moving forward in 2025, what to expect, and dive into the data. And obviously on this particular webinar, we go through some fun quotes. We go through some data. I'll give you some of my perspective, my opinions, as I look at data and shoot about this stuff constantly, daily. And hopefully we can get some of your questions answered, concerns answered, and give you some guidance on what to expect here in the coming year. Again, how to reach me. Here's all my information. Feel free to reach out anytime. Would love to connect. We're expecting house prices to continue to grow, although at a slower pace. That is Freddie Mac. I do agree with that. It's all, remember, supply demand. It comes down to rates. If rates happen to come down quicker, that could change. But the biggest issue right now, I can tell you, with everybody I talk to and people I talk to in the industry that talk to clients, is everybody is locked in to a beautifully low rate that doesn't want to move, which really means I have a beautiful low payment and I don't want to touch that. And that's what they're locked into at. So that is why people don't want to move. But people, on the other hand, do want to move. They do want to get out of the condo, get out of the small house and trade up. This was a 3 or 5 year plan home, and they're stuck in there because if they go buy that house they want to now, it's more money than they thought. It's the payment's going to be much higher. The tax bill is much higher. If depending on where they want, maybe it's harder to get insurance. So folks, it's just kind of a crazy, difficult time right now. I get it. Let's just acknowledge it. Let's not ignore it. But there are still people, 5 million probably people this year will buy a home. Many people will refinance, and people just move on, and everybody's at a different stage of their life. And depending on the stage, there are people literally getting out of their 3% mortgages, buying another house, because guess what? Because when you buy a primary residence, the low rate is actually outpaced by, well, my family's growing, my grandpa's moving in, my mom's moving in, I need to relocate for a job, I need to relocate for the military, a divorce, whatever it is. Things are happening in people's lives. And so it doesn't matter. People sold a business, people made more money, they can step up. They don't care about the rates, they'll refi when they come down. When you're buying a primary residence, it's much more emotional, and it has to be, it's where you live, it's your home, and it has to make sense. So people are just making decisions based on that. It's not just about this low rate. And there are a lot of people stuck on that low rate, low payment. I get it, because they just cannot afford to make a move. And so they're sitting on the sidelines praying and cross your toes and fingers that rates come down, or that opportunity exists where they can move, sell the house, take the equity, and move it to another house, which I hope, if that's you, you can accomplish that too. If we can help you, please reach out. And what do you believe about the year ahead? What are you thinking? Do you think the administration is going to help, not help? You think rates are going to come down? Housing? What is on your mind? I know there's lots of questions. If I can help you with those, reach out. Unlocking the opportunities in 2025. So what are the most difficult steps? Take a look at this chart. What are the most difficult steps of the home buying process? Well, finding the right property is definitely always up there. Paperwork, 24% for first-time home buyers, 17% for existing. Understanding the process and steps, 36% first-time home buyers. Wow. And 15%. Appraisal of the property, 13% is the difficult process, and 6%. Saving for the down payment, 32% first-time home buyers, and all buyers is 12%, and getting a mortgage, 13% and 8%, 13% first-time home buyers. That very interesting. Obviously, finding the property is always the most difficult, but it looks like second in line is understanding the process, and third in line is saving for that down payment. So here's a quote by NAR. Young home buyers are more likely to say that one of the most difficult steps in the home buying process behind finding a property and saving for their down payment is understanding the real estate process and the steps they need to take the study finds. So again, younger buyers are more likely to say that one of the most difficult steps in the home buying process behind finding a property is saving for the down payment is understanding the process step by step they need to take it. That means I need to make a video about that. I need to really break it down, which I'm going to work on. Thank you, home buyers, for doing that. But that is true. So if you're a first-time home buyer and you're understanding about the step, I just had an hour conversation yesterday. It was on the weekend, and I'm shooting this on the weekend, just so you know, for an hour, and I answered all their questions. Went through. He goes, "Wow, Kenny, I didn't know you were going to spend this much time. I didn't realize all this information this guy had studied." And he's like, "This is great." You know why I did that? Because I wanted to answer the questions. When I answer the questions and you get knowledge then turns into confidence, and confidence helps you make decision, folks. So if you have, and really at the end of the day, we did kind of locked ourselves in a room, my wife and I, when we started doing content to understand what problem we solved in the real estate business to help you. And what we found that we resolved wasn't that I give you more confidence and this and that, is we solved the problem of insecurity. And when you look at this quote, again, let's go back here, and people talk about understanding the real estate process and the steps they need to take, the study finds, it's because even you're insecure. I don't care if you're self-employed and you bought 5 properties. Maybe you're like, Kenny, I don't know if I'm going to qualify. Maybe you're an investor saying, I don't know if this deal makes sense. Most people are insecure because they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the tools. But once they get the knowledge, once they get the tools, and once they get that confidence, that insecurity comes down, then they can go, hey, you know what? It makes sense to sell the home and buy this. Oh, it makes sense to buy an investment property. It makes sense to refi. It makes sense to cash out and consolidate those bills. That confidence comes from all this stuff. So anyways, just throwing that out there. And if that's something you're dealing with and you want to process and you need to have a conversation with somebody you want to buy, hey, seriously, reach out to me. That's what we're here for, to help. So what do buyers most want from the real estate agent? Well, let's take a look. Put my glasses on for this one. Helping find the right home purchase, helping negotiate the terms of the sale, help with price negotiation, help with the paperwork, determine what comparable homes we're selling for, help determining how much home buyer can afford, help find and arrange financing. That's the lowest. So the biggest is helping to find a purchase. The second in line is help negotiating the terms, of course, and then help with price negotiations. And just so you guys know, when you go to a dual agent and you're working with an agent that's listing a property, you work with him, it's not a bad thing. I mean, you can do this. Keep in mind that agent has the best interest of the seller and you. So when you work with a buyer's agent that's dealing with a seller's agent, this buyer's agent's like trying to get you the best deal. It's not saying they're not concerned about the seller, but they don't have to worry about the seller. They're worried about you, one person. So when you have the dual agency and you're working with them, just remember, that's hard for that agent to put both people in there. It's very hard to do that. And that agent has to be really good and great at communication and great at negotiation and being that mediator. And if they're not, they actually can put you in a bad position to actually get a worse deal. And you feel like, well, I went to you to save. And you're like, well, did you? Did you really get the best deal? Then do they really work them down? I don't know. It's something to think about. The role of the buyer's agent is to act as the home buyer guide on their real estate journey. Their primary responsibility is to help the house hunters find the home that best suits their needs and budget, ticking as many boxes as possible on their wish list. What do sellers most want from agents? So 22% of sellers help sellers market home to potential buyers. 20% help price home competitively. 18% want help sell the property within a specific time frame. 15% help sellers find ways to fix up home to sell it for more. 13% help find a buyer for home. Expect an increase in expired listings. Here's this chart. Expired, cancel, or withdrawal listings. First week of 24 versus first week of 25. First week of 24, 129,000. Low end forecast first week of 25, 135,000. And high end forecast first week of 2025, 149,000. You have a window of opportunity. Average days before relisting homes that expire the first week of 2024. So you have a window of opportunity. Average days before relisting homes that expire in the first week, 53, 80, with a different agent, and when relisting with the same agent, 41. Average days you sell once it's relisted with a new agent versus the same agent. With a relisted with a different agent, 23%. With the same agent, 46. Wow. So that means if you fire your agent and go with a new one, you're going to sell your home quicker. I mean, I know agents don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. I guess that's data. Do I agree with that? I don't know. But that's probably because the new agent's going to come in and demand a lower price and say, well, you didn't sell it. If you want me to come in and sell it, this is what I need. And so it kind of sucks because the first agent, they might have told that to you and you didn't listen to. And this is just part of the business. They'll lose business. So I've seen somebody list a home. They didn't do the price. Somebody comes in, listed the price. The agent told them originally, they sell the house. They look like a genius. And the other agent's like, well, I told them to do that. What are you going to do? Most of the relisted homes have sold, expired, canceled, and withdrawal listings January 1 through 7, 2024. Okay, so of the 616 homes that were relisted, 58% have sold. Sellers had a 37.7 better chance of selling if they relisted with a different agent. Wow. So basically the data is telling you to relist with a new agent, which I know nobody's going to hear that, but that's pretty crazy. This is the agent. How are we looking for home prices? Percent home price appreciation as of January 7, 2025. Average of all 21. Wow. You guys can read this. Here's everybody's expecting price appreciation up for 2025. The average is 2.9. You can see all these. Rates were abnormally low for the better part of 15 years, and they've been abnormally high for the last 2. Yeah, I'll give you a 2. I was going to say 2.5, but 2. They're coming down, but where they settle out is going to be a level that's higher than what we had seen before 2022. I agree with that, but you never know. But I will agree with that statement. Because they're in the 2s. I mean, they're lowest ever. So affordability expected to improve, but it's unlikely to return to pre-probable pandemic levels anytime soon. So yeah, affordability is just not doing well at all. It's actually worse than this chart goes back to 2000. It's worse than ever. So it's expected to come down, but we need those rates to come down or housing's coming down. But remember, everybody's locked in these low rates. So these people just won't sell or move. And the people that are selling, that do move, they keep their houses and rent them out. Go figure that. 2025 existing home for sale inventory year over year percentage increase. They're thinking Realtor.com 11.7 and Altos Research, which is Mike over there at Housing Wire. Great stuff. He says 15%. U.S. historical foreclosure activity and rates. Here you go. Everybody, the funny, I think the doomers and gloomers and the crashers have backed off. They still love to keep chattering on YouTube, thinking that everything's going to crash and crumble, but they say this every year and they have been yet. Maybe they'll be right one year down the road and they'll say, see, I told you. But you also say, yeah, but you told us like 15 years in a row and you're never right. So in 2005, you can see the chart go up and then falling. Obviously, 2020 was there a moratorium on foreclosures. It was low. I'm sure it looks like they're still happening, but we're very, very low on foreclosures. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Total home sales forecast to rise. So in millions, 2019 projected is 5.1. So 2019 was 6 million. 2020 was 6.5. 2021 was 6.9. 2022 was 5.7. 2023 was 4.8. 2024, 4.6 million. And 2025 projected is 5.1 million homes sold. What do you guys think? Let me know. The complexities of the current conditions mean that now more than ever, it's smart to lean on the guidance of an experienced local real estate agent. If you want to enter the housing market in 2025, whether as a buyer or seller, let a pro lead the way. As I will say, who you work with in this business will matter. It could be from getting a better deal, from an okay deal to a better deal, getting your loan approved to not approved, getting you a better rate or not, or something happens in the transaction. Oh, I was working with this guy. He's brand new in the business. He didn't know anything. So all this stuff matters, folks. It really, really does. Who you work with, it matters. It can get you a better deal. It can save you on rates, all types of stuff. Work with the best. Expect the best. 2025 Realtor.com home inventory forecast count year over year. New listings, number count. Chart's very confusing, but you can kind of see where we land at the bottom, where kind of listings land. So it's pretty deep for 24, 23, and how the peaks are. So the peaks in 17, 18, 19 are much higher. with obviously much lower pending listings. It's more data. Median days in the market. Look at that. See, if you look at 2020, really was low there. And then it came back up. So we're kind of getting more in normal lines with that. Mortgage rates forecast. Here you go. Actual Fannie Mae forecast, MBA forecast, Wells Fargo. So where we are at now, they're all saying we are going to stay not much better than we are now. Let's see. Will Trump make it better? We'll see. Waiting for the lower rates is not guaranteed. Over time, you'll see prospective home buyers just start throwing in the towel. I agree with that. You're already seeing it. People are like, if they don't go down, what are we waiting for? Because if they do go down, you can refi. Things are getting more expensive. I think people are just trying to just accept it is what it is. 2025 30-year fixed mortgage rates. Here's everybody's thoughts. Everybody is in the 6s. Nobody is in the 5s. That is crazy. What if they're all wrong? And just so you guys know, a lot of people are wrong about rates and they've been wrong. So heightened mortgage rates volatility may present opportunities for would-be home buyers to take advantage of temporary lows, and we may see stretches where housing activity is boosted by lower rates. But on average, we expect mortgage rates to remain elevated and a hindrance to activity. While we think conditions on national basis will remain challenging, we are seeing meaningful regions in the market conditions, and the home buyers and the home buying experience as the age goes will continue to be a local one. Mortgage rates by decade. All right, so the 1970s, the average mortgage rate was 8.86. 1980s, 12.70. 1990s, 8.12. 2000s, 6.27. And the 2010s, 4.09. And we know, see, that just tells you the run we had. Inventory should continue to grow this year over year. Existing home for sale inventory, that's what they're expected. Mortgage rates have averaged above 6% for the past 24 months. Buyers are no longer waiting or expecting mortgage rates to fall substantially. Furthermore, buyers are in a better position to negotiate as the market shifts away from a seller's market. 2025 is posed to continue the trend of rising inventory across the country. We'll probably finish 2025 with 15% more homes available than we have now. That's Mike Simonson. He is the man. He has the best research. He's probably going to be a good prediction on that. Let's chat. This is how to reach me. Connect with me anytime. It's my beautiful family. Here's my information. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking in. Connect with me. And if you only watch the monthly, I'll see you in a month. But you should be following me on Instagram. Get on my email list. Check my stuff out. We got lots of good content over here for you guys. Trying to keep you educated. Try to keep you informed and help you with the home buying process. That is our goal. Talk soon.